Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? It's Monday morning chats with Sack. Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I got a chance to see some sorors that I didn't see in like 3 years. And you don't realize like how much like COVID, like this whole entire pandemic, how it allowed you to just stay in your house and you realize that wow, 3 years have passed where I didn't see so many people. And so it was great to see some sorors. Like it was really good. I got a chance to celebrate one of my friends for her birthday, and then joining a sorority to be my AKA. So definitely excited for her. And I got a chance to celebrate me for my new position. So that was good. And I have like so many other celebrations lined up this week and when I start my job. And I'm telling my friends like, man, like, do you really respect my diet? They're like, listen, I don't care. Give me your schedule. When would you be in DC? We're going out to lunch. We're going out to dinner. I don't care what you say. I'm like, okay. So that was cool. And I just got a chance to, I went out to dinner yesterday. It was a solo dinner. And I just got a chance to just really reflect and just say like, wow, like this is happening. And it's happening faster than I expected. Like, wow, I'm about to start this new position. I didn't start my syllabus yet. I didn't form my syllabus yet, but I will draft my syllabus, and I have an idea of how I want to structure my clinic. Like, I already know, and one of the things I'm really big on is mental health. And so as I'm thinking about how I'm going to like design my clinic and reading, different articles and what does it mean to be a part of the Legal Academy? It's one thing to be a fellow, but now that I'm going to be an assistant professor, tenure track, like I have a big responsibility. And I just started to think about this because this has been my premise as a law professor is to meet students where they are at, right? So I read this article yesterday. I've heard that statement a lot, especially during the pandemic. Meet people where they're at, right? And if you think about it, this past week, I was just thinking about, wow, like I remember when we got that stay-at-home order, right? March 16th, life just changed for all of us. And I thought it was just going to be like this 1 month thing. Like, no, we were on lockdown. And I remember like the TikTok videos and everyone dancing and trying to not think about it. But when you're done the TikTok video and you're posting it, like how are you functioning and what does it mean to survive the pandemic? Like, what trauma issues did you face? And people were facing a lot of things. And I had friends, I had colleagues that the pandemic either made them or broke them, whether it's individually or if they were in a relationship. Like some relationships just fell and some people realized like, hey, I didn't realize how much I hate my partner until we had to stay together. And some people realize, honestly, just being at home by themselves was a lot. And it made them realize like, hey, there's still some unresolved issues that I have to like work in the inside. Like I have to deal with it. And I will always hear people say, like I will always hear some people say like, well, I'm trying to find me. I'm trying to find me. Like, I don't know like who I am. And honestly, I didn't really understand it, right? When people say I'm trying to figure out me. And I didn't get it, right? And so it makes me think, well, if someone's trying to figure out themselves, it makes me think, do they question everything that they do, right? Do they have good judgment? Do they have a good moral compass? The things that they do to certain actions, what makes them question it? Do they think in their mind is bad? And if it is bad, why do they continuously do it, right? Or some people are trying to figure out the things they want in their life. Maybe they're not content with their profession. Or maybe they're not just content with their physical. You have some women, some men that are not happy when they see the person that they see in the mirror. They're not happy. That's why some people they go to a trainer. For me, I just knew that, hey, I wanted to slim down. Like, that was my goal. And it's a health goal for me because most of my family on my father's side, they are overweight. And so that has always been a thing for me. Like, hey, I know with obesity, I know what comes with that, like health problems, and I don't want that. Some people get surgery, they get cosmetic surgery, and some people do whatever is best for them. Sorry about that. I had to answer my door. But like, people do certain things to make themselves feel good. Maybe this is another part about them figuring out who they are. But honestly, I think that it's about their compass, their moral compass, and questioning the things that they do. Like, is it right or is it wrong? Or maybe they're still trying to process their emotions, right? Trying to figure out, okay, why do I feel this way when this happens, right? And if this happened, why do I react this way? Still trying to figure out those things, because some people don't know. They don't know why they're sad. Like, I had a friend that told me, like, hey, I just woke up and I just cried, and I don't even know why. But when I read this article about meeting people where they are, I said, it makes sense, right? So meeting people where they are, this is something that I practice in the classroom, right? And I want to make sure that I'm effectively processing this and practicing this with people that I love and people that I'm close to. And so meeting people where they are is looking at your own expectations for someone, like bridging a gap between your own expectations of someone and seeing where they are coming from. And how you do that is, are you able to effectively listen to them, their wants, their needs, their desires? And sometimes people are responding like the trauma responses. Like, can you be able to identify and say, hey, this person, this is a trauma response? Because sometimes you could be around somebody and they just like go pew. I'm like, okay, maybe this person, this is a trauma response. Maybe they're responding to something and it has nothing to do with you. And so I start to ask myself, like, meeting people where they are at, bridging the gap between my own expectations of them and trying to understand where they're coming from. So in the classroom, like, some people ask me, like, well, how are you as a professor, right? I'm very energetic. Like, I have a lot of energy, right? And I don't even need coffee. Like, I have energy. And I think for me is that when I teach, I become alive. Like, I become alive, and it's something that fills me. It's something that I really, really enjoy. So when I teach, I am in my sweet spot. Like, you can't tell me anything, whether I'm teaching a class, my students, or whether I'm teaching, like, in the seminar space. Like, I love teaching. Like, that is just me. And I had this difficult student, like really difficult student, this past year. And I tried to use that same concept, like, meeting people where they are at. And I realized, like, I tried to see where this student was coming from. Like, try to meet their needs, right? Try to meet their needs. And, hey, well, what can I do to make this better? Like, what is it that you don't understand? So that way we're able to come together and we're able to create some type of plan for you. Because my goal for all my students is that I want all my students to be successful. That's one of the reasons why I go to networking events, and I am doing a network for them, because my goal is I want to help as many students get jobs. That is my goal. And so I know partners at firms, like most of us went to grad school together if they're in the DMV area, or I went to law school with some folks. And so I'm just like, hey, you know me, the type of person I am, the type of work that I do. And I told my colleagues last week when I went to a networking event this past Thursday, I said, hey, I saw one of my colleagues just became partner at a firm, and we went to grad school together. And I said, hey, he was like, hey, that's pretty cool that you're teaching. Like, and I said, yeah. So when I call you, you know what that means? He said, yeah, if a student need an internship, I got you. They need a position and there is a position available, I got you. And that's what it's all about. But then I realized, and I had a conversation with several of my colleagues about the student. Like, I'm like, I love to teach. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. Like, please, like, get me out of my misery, because it was bothering me, because I had an expectation of students, and I try to understand every student, understand that every student, their educational level, it varies, right? And, you know, everyone comes in with their own life experiences. So I really try to understand. Like, I'm dealing with students that are parents. I'm dealing with students that are older than me. I'm dealing with students that's dealing with real life things. And for them to sit in the classroom, I get it. Like, I get it, and I understand it. And I'm very patient. And I realized that, okay, I had these expectations, not just for this student, but all students. And I am trying to bridge a gap for where they're coming from. So as I had this bridge, right, my expectations, and to see where they're coming from, I try to listen to them, try to meet their needs. And when I talked to one of my colleagues, she was like, but you did everything. And it made me think that, you know, sometime in life you can meet people where they at, but also accept people for who they are. And I did research, like, hey, you know, you have a difficult student, like, this is what you do. And then I realized that no matter what I would have done, no matter what I would have said, this student will still be this type of person. Still be this type of person. It doesn't even matter. So I had to really accept that. And it was hard for me, because I love my students. Like, I want the best for them. Like, absolute best. Like, absolute best. So it was very, very difficult for me to grapple with that. I feel better now. Grades are released. So I feel better about that. But just meeting people where they're at. And then I started thinking about my friends. And the people that I'm around. And I was like, meeting people where they are at. And I just started thinking about the people that I call my friend. I'm like, where are they at mentally, right? Because, yeah, it's okay to have these expectations. It's okay to have, like, an idea, like, hey, this is what I would want from this person. But then when you understand where they're coming from, sometimes they can't meet that need. And it's not because they don't care. I had to really do inventory, and I was like, yo, most of my friends was, like, they were going through some stuff this year, and even last year. Like, they were going through some, and I don't even know how they had the strength to wake up and just do life. Like, honestly, I'm strong, but I'm like, can I be that strong? Because they were going through some stuff. Like, they were going through some stuff. I received a text message from a friend, and it broke my heart just to see my friend go through this. Like, it was so devastating. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, do you need an outlet? You know, do you need to go somewhere? Like, what is it? What can I do? And I realized that, you know, sometimes when people are going through things, they can't be there for you. Even though they want to. Like, they just mentally just can't. They're just not there. And I remember one of my friends at the beginning of this year was really going through something. And this person shared with me the things that they were going through. And I'm very positive. Like, I don't like being negative. And my friend, like, I would text my friend, like, hey, you know, you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. Like, if I say I'm going to pray for you, I'm really going to pray for you. And I was like, hey, you know, I was sending positive messages, like, hey, you know, I'm just checking in. Like, I do my random mental health check-ins, like, hey, I'm just checking in to see, like, how are you able to manage your emotions today? Because I know yesterday may be different, but today I hope that you're able to grapple on it, able to control your emotions. And if you're unable to do so, that's still okay. And I think when I sent the text message, I didn't get a response to like three days later. But in the text message, I said that, hey, I'm not expecting you to respond. I just want you to know that I have thought about you. Like, even though you see this text message, like, hey, I don't want you to respond right away. And if you don't respond at all, that's okay. I'm still going to reach out to you and let you know that, hey, you're still in my thoughts. And I got a text message like a couple days later, like, hey, I'm so sorry that I didn't respond back promptly, but I really appreciate it. And I was like, yeah. Like, I was like, no. Like, are you okay? And I didn't know. Like, I was just me being me. And I didn't know, like, that really... this person really appreciated. Like, you have no idea. And I let this person know, like, hey, I know that you are dealing with the issues that you're dealing with. And sometimes you may not want to talk to anybody. And that's absolutely okay. That's absolutely okay. I don't need an explanation. Just know that I still love you. And my love for you as a friend, it doesn't change. I just want you to know that you're in my thoughts. And when you become more emotionally okay, just know that I'm still going to be here. Like, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave at all. And I had to really... sometimes it's hard for some people. But I think once you really understand that, it makes you look at people in a different way. Like, some people, honestly... they can't show up for you, but they damn sure can't show up for themselves. And I tell my friends, I tell people that I'm cool with, like, I talk to them like, hey, at the end of the day, like, if you wake up and show up for yourself, yeah, that's all I need from you as a friend. And then I just started to really think about, like, dad, like, what do I want from my friends? Like, what do I want from them? Like, what is the expectation that I want from them? And it's a few things. It don't have nothing to do with me. Well, one thing. One, I want them to love themselves. And I know it sounds cliche, but there's so many people that don't love themselves. Like, I want them to love themselves. The next thing is, I want them to show up for themselves. Be exactly who you are. Be exactly who you are. And that gives people the decision to say if they want you in their life or not. Like, be exactly who you are. Like, be exactly who you are. Go after your dreams. Go after your dreams. Support yourself. Do the things that make you happy. And I would say for me, like, I'm not that friend that expects my friends to, like, buy me all this stuff. I don't ask for none of that stuff. Support is everything. That means everything. Like, I don't care about gifts. Like, they're nice, but support. Can you show up when needed? But if you can't show up for yourself, don't show up for me. Like, I tell my, like, if you can't show up for yourself, please don't do that for me. Like, trust me, I understand you don't gotta give me a whole speech. I get it. I still love you. But I want my friends, the most important thing is I want them to show up for me. Show up for themselves first. And I can understand it. And that's not me saying, like, dad, being selfish like that. They can't do this for me. But I really want them to show up for themselves first. Before they show up for anybody. Because I think that's important. Like, I want them to really show up for themselves. And then when they're able to show up for themselves and they're able to be happy, it may be easier to support other people. But if you're going through your own things, please, like, focus on yourself, sis or bro. Like, it's okay. It's okay. We don't got to do happy hour today. I'ma still go. You just may not be in attendance. But that's okay because you need to focus on you. And whatever that may look like. And just know that I still love you. I still love you. I talked to my older cousin about this, and she's always dropping gems. And I highly respect her as a woman. I respect her as a wife. I respect her as a business owner, and overall, she's just a dope ass person. She made a post that made me think about it, and she said, you can't. on folks, because people are dealing with things. Just accept people for who they are. You got people that's dealing with divorces. You got people dealing with miscarriages. You got people dealing with like all these things. And sometimes people are fighting battles that you may never know. Like, I remember when I got my abortion, like, I was devastated. Like, I thought I was okay. And I remember leaving the clinic. My best friend took me. Like, she came from Philly, and she took me to the clinic. And I remember walking out like, damn, I just did this. And honestly, I was mentally gone. Like, I was just gone. And I remember her saying, like, hey, I'm here. And I didn't get it, right? Because I am the strong friend out of my group of friends. Like, I'm the strong one. Like, I'm the one that has it together. Even in my family, like, I am the strong one. Like, I can keep people together. Like, I'm able to handle a lot. But when that happened, I realized that, damn, I'm not that strong as I thought I was. But then I realized that it's not about being strong. It's about going through life. And some things just knock you down. And it knocked me down. But I remember my best friend, she would reach out to me. And sometimes I was just stagnant. And she was like, yo, I'm not expecting a response. Right? And so when you are meeting people where they're at and looking at your own expectations, you have to understand that one day you're going to need the same grace that you're giving out to other people. And vice versa. So it was one point I couldn't show up for myself because I was still battling with that. Like, I was still battling, trying to figure out, like, did I make the right decision? And no one forced me to get an abortion. Like, no one did force me to do that. But I struggled with that. Like, did I make the right decision? And I wasn't working at the time. So I remember sometime, like, I would be in my apartment and I would just sit on the floor. Had a couch. Like, my apartment was fully furnished. I would just sit on the couch with no TV on and just sit with my thoughts like, damn, what is next? I don't have to worry about no baby, but what is next? Like, will I ever get over this? And I eventually found strength. I eventually found courage. Most importantly, I found forgiveness within myself and realized, like, hey, like, you did make a good decision. You made a decision that was best for you. And so as I go through these processes, like the things that I expect from my friends, I've learned to show up for myself. And so when people would talk about it, like, hey, you know, most of my family, if they do see this, like, wow, that happened here, because I didn't really share it with family members. Shit, my dad don't even know. And so I realized, like, hey, I gotta show up for myself. I gotta know that I made the right decision. I gotta be happy. Right? I gotta do whatever is best for me. And I went through those processes, and I'm way healed over it. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. But my friends, like, I want them to really show up for themselves first. Like, really, really show up. Because I don't ask a lot from my friends. Like, I don't ask a lot. I want them to do all things that are considered healthy for them. I don't deal with toxicity and negativity. Like, one friend, she told me the other day, like, hey, you know, she was hurt about something and she wanted to seek revenge. And I said, well, if you seek revenge, right, whatever action you're trying to pursue, what is the purpose behind it? Like, what is the purpose behind it? And this person couldn't really answer. She was like, you know, I just want this person to hurt. But I said, why do you want this person to hurt? Because you're hurt? But what do you get out of it? What do you get, like, a prize? Like, do you get, like, an award for seeking revenge? Like, what do you get out of it? Because I don't know. And I said, honestly, I'm not that friend that's going to cheer you on to seek revenge for someone. I'm the total opposite. So what do you get out of seeking revenge from someone? I was like, because I don't encourage it. And she was like, I just want this person to hurt. I said, honestly, this person may not even care that you're hurt. And I said, if you seek revenge, it's like they won. You're letting them get to you. And I said, let's change the narrative. Let's not get revenge. Let's just forgive ourselves, right? Forgive ourselves. And I said too, this sounds easier. It's easier done than said. But I said, forgive yourself. And I said too, pray for this person. And see, I'm crazy. But you gotta think about, like, I go to church, I read my Bible, I'm in Bible study. But that allows healing. And when you forgive yourself, like, you're just saying that, hey, like, this happened. I learned something from it. I may not do that again, but I learned something from it and I'm able to move forward. Because when we're going through issues that cause trauma, if we don't heal from, we're stuck there. And I realized that, Ayana Van Zant, she said that you're the person where you're the age where you first experience trauma if you don't heal from it. And so there's a lot of people that suffer from childhood trauma. And so just think about, if you had your first trauma experience at 11, you could be 30-something years old, but you're still stuck at 11 because you didn't heal from that. And healing, that's, God already gave you healing. You just got to accept it. And some people don't want to. But I said, revenge is not going to do anything. Like, it's not. I said, people hurt people all the time. I said, I got hurt. And I said, I think I'm a decent ass person. I am. I don't seek revenge on people. I don't try to hurt people. I get hurt. People would do things to hurt me. Now, the old Sakina, there was ways I would handle that, but I don't do that no more. And this is Monday Morning Chats with Saying. This is Motivational Monday, so I don't even want to talk about that. But I said that the hardest thing for me to do is to pray for somebody that hurt me. It's easy to say, hey, I forgive. But no, when you pray for someone that hurt you, it's not about like, hey, God, such and such, I pray for them. Let me tell you what I say in my prayer. God, I forgive myself. I forgive those that hurt me. Dear God, I wish nothing but the best for them. And here's what I mean. I pray that they have a prosperous life. I pray that you bless them with their heart's desires, whatever that may be. I don't even know. I pray that if there's a job that they're seeking or it's a new relationship that they're seeking, it could be a platonic friendship, it could be a romantic relationship. I say all these things. I was like, I pray that they get whatever they want. I pray that they're able to learn from life experiences, and I pray that they're able to make the best decisions for themselves. And sometimes they may not be able to make the best decision for themselves because they're still struggling with who they are as a person. They may be struggling with things that I don't even know of or anybody else even know of. But I pray that if they're fighting a battle in silence, that I pray that you heal them. I pray that you lay all their burdens. I pray that they allow themselves to lay all their burdens at the altar. I pray that you cover them. When they wake up, when they leave their house, cover them when they leave their house, cover them throughout the day. And I pray that they get to their destination safely in the evening or the next day or whatever they may be. I pray for prosperity over their life. And that is hard. But there's a reward that comes with that. Like, if you do believe in God, like, there's a reward that comes with that. Like, if I'm able to forgive someone that hurt me and wish them nothing but the best and absolutely mean it, like, God's going to bless me. So I don't do it for them. Like, I don't do it for them. I don't care if they never speak to me. Listen, I'm fit and I'm trim and I'm slim and I'm living a hill, pretty summer. I don't care what you think. I'm just doing things that I know God will appreciate and I'm honoring him. But I told my girlfriend, I was like, sis, we don't do no revenge over here. I said, you can't talk that to me because I'm not going to encourage it, but I will encourage you to pray for this person. Pray for this person. So meeting people where they are at is looking at your own expectations of them and bridging the gap to understanding where they're coming from. People are fighting battles that you probably have no idea about. And I told one of my friends, like, one of my friends, I know this person for like over 10 years. And I was like, yo, I'm still the same person. Like, I have matured and I have grown, like, but my overall core as a person has changed. I said, the only different thing that changed about me, I said, I've became more gentle. Like, really. Like, I am that person where I'm like, hey, okay. Like, someone can pour their heart out. So I'm like, hey, like, do you need me to hold your hand? Like, that is just who I am as a person. And that's from going through life and understanding that some people need that extra gentle touch. That's me. That is absolutely me. I told one person, like, hey, would you like to hold my hand? Like, to talk about this? And some people may think that's childish, but you'd be surprised. Like, some people need that. And I never forget, one of my male friends was telling me about, like, this bad relationship that he was in. And I was just listening. I didn't interrupt. And I was like, and when there was a pause, I was like, hey, are you processing things? Like, hey, are you okay? Like, hey, you want to end this conversation now? You know, there's a pregnant pause, and I just want to make sure that you're okay and I'm not interrupting. And he was like, wow. He was like, wow, I feel like I'm on your couch singing, can you stop? But no, don't stop. But I like this. But Dad, like, I feel like I could talk to you about anything. I feel like I'm on your couch. I was like, I'm not a therapist. I feel like I was a therapist in my past life. But I think once you really understand about your expectations of someone, meeting people where they are, where you look at your expectations and you look at where they are coming from, and you're able to really understand, like, what they need. Because some people need certain things at different aspects in their life. Are you able to effectively listen to them about their needs and their desires? And can you be okay when there's trauma responses? Like, sometimes you're able to talk to somebody and just instantly yell and just know, like, hey, it's not directed to you, it's just a trauma response. Are you able to really understand that? But also know that you can meet people where they are at, but also accept people for who they are. Because no matter how kind, no matter how gentle you are, there's some people that still, honestly, there's still some fucked up people, and they just don't care. They don't want to change. They're okay with being nasty to people. Like, you have to understand that. And you have to distinguish the two. And I told my cousin, like, hey, there's some friends where I was able to meet them where they were at, able to be very understanding. And I just realized, like, no matter how kind and no matter how good of a person I was to them, they're still the same people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to meet them where they're at. I could be understanding. I could be cool. I could be gentle. But I accept them for who they are. And my synopsis of this all is that they're not a good friend. So you have to understand it. But that's all that I have for today. I hope that it helps somebody. And if you are watching this entire thing, you will see there was a pause. That's because I had one of my neighbors got to help me with something. So after this, I'm going to call my neighbor like, hey, help me with this. So, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. I am not this independent woman. So if I need help, I'm going to call my neighbors, because I don't like picking up heavy stuff unless it's weights. But yeah, so I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope that you're able to understand that, you know, it's important to meet people where they're at, and you just never know that people are struggling with things. They are fighting battles that we just don't know anything about. So be gentle, be kind, be understanding. And don't forget to show up for yourself. Like, before you try to show up for other people, don't try to be that doer and you're not doing anything for yourself. Like, show up for yourself. So it is Monday. This Sunday will be Father's Day. So I just like to shout out to all the dope men out there. Most importantly, all the dope fathers. I hope that you're not on the grill this Sunday. I hope that you don't have, like, the cookout flip-flops as a gift. Like, I hope that you are really, really, really appreciated. And even though let's say there's some people out there watching that are not fathers, if you're a father figure, like, I hope that you get celebrated. I hope that you really get celebrated, because you are amazing. You are great. And special shout out to my brother. My brother is a dope ass father. Like, when I say a dope ass father, like, he is that. Like, he's not this weekend dad. He's not that. He is a father that is active in my niece's life. And I tell him all the time, I tell him as much as possible, like, hey, I think that you are amazing, and my niece is so blessed to have you as a father. And so if you're watching this, Keenan, I just want you to know that I see you. I see you as a man. I respect you as a man. I respect you as a father. I just respect you as just a good, genuine human being. So just keep doing your thing. And to all my friends that are dope fathers out there, like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm really, really proud of you, because this negative stigma about black men in fatherhood, and you know, it's this idea like some black men are not showing up, but there's always stories, and I just know the black men that I know, they are dope fathers. So if you're my friend, I'm cool with you, and you're a father, just know that I see you, and you are freaking great, and you are so amazing. And so it is Monday, and I hope that this day sets the tone for your whole entire week. So wake up with energy, wake up with joy, be happy, be glad, show up for yourself, be extra kind to yourself, show yourself a little bit more love, and just know that you are amazing, and you should get whatever you desire, and you will get that. I tell myself that all the time too. So have a great Monday. Have a fantastic week. Yeah, and make sure if you have a father in your life or a father figure, make sure you celebrate them this weekend. All right, take care, guys, and have a great day. Bye.